We're on.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time at the Apothecary. For those of you who are new to us, we stream live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Central Time from Merz Apothecary right here in Chicago. I'm TQ. I'm the president of Merz Apothecary, and this is my brother JQ. And we use this time to talk about wellness, tea, small business, Chicago, and connect with amazing guests. Today we have a very special guest on. Our good friend, jazz vocalist, stylist, amazing musician, Typhanie Monique. Tiffany, hello.
Hey everybody.
Oh,
Oh, sexy
ooh.
jazz voice.
That's my Yeti mic. I
I
figured I
I
like
have to
it.
like the
match
Yeti mics.
the Yeti mic is good. I have to match the photo that you promoted me with.
I have a
So
Yeti mic. I like those. When I'm traveling, that's the one I use because it's a USB you can do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works pretty well.
Jay, I was saying while you're gone that her photo is very nice, and she's doing her sultry voice to go along with the photo. So thanks, Tiffany. I appreciate it.
Tiffany,
No
I don't know
problem.
if you know this, but like she can do like she should be like making a incredible career doing voiceover. The things she can do with that instrument is amazing. It's like
What are you talking about?
no, seriously, like she would use when we were doing BMC, she would use like her voice in these crazy ways, and we would be like, that's not even human at times. It was cool.
It was fun.
I've
We
witnessed
had
some
good
of that
times.
over the years, and I agree. Um, yeah, you are a walking
AMC.
instrument. So,
Thank
uh,
you. I love that.
yeah,
I feel that, it's an instrument of expression. I feel so I feel, fortunate that that's kind of what I get to do every day
yeah.
in
Well, we're going
life.
to share some of that with people today, but I thought maybe first let's talk a little bit about life and tea. What are you drinking
Yeah.
today, Tiffany?
I am drinking Harvey and Sons,
Hmm?
and it's wedding tea. So we've got some coconut vanilla, white tea, blue cornflower, rose petals.
Wow, that sounds lovely.
It's lovely. The overriding scent is very vanilla esque.
Hmm.
Um, and then honestly, some of my favorite is like turmeric and ginger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I rock that tea
T, what are
probably
you drinking
daily.
today?
I am
Sorry,
drinking something
Tiffany goes
special.
by T as well, so this is gonna be confusing.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
tea.
can
The
be
tea
Thai.
tea is drinking is we've been we had Lisa on who runs our tea department and last week I think. So we've started making some blends of teas, and she made. I had been having a couple rough days of headache, whatever, like just something in the air or something's going on. But I've kind of had headaches every day for the past 3 days, and Lisa is making a headache. So this is headache like beta headache tea version number one. Has chamomile, lemon balm, lavender, peppermint, passion flower, ginger, and meadowsweet. And I took
Mm.
it yesterday. I added a pinch of green tea at her suggestion. Today I wanted to taste it without the green tea. It is lovely, I have to say, and really helped me yesterday when I was sort of having a rough day trying to do like computer tasks with this kind of pounding behind my eye. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, so this is in the works. So hopefully, soon to be future small flower Merz tea. So,
Cool. Tiff,
Sounds
you're,
yummy.
I just say anybody who out there doesn't know, you are, besides being an incredible vocalist, you're also a teacher. You've taught,
I am.
you teach, what school do you teach at?
I'm a professor at DePaul University and at Columbia College, and
And
I
you
don't finish.
teach, right?
and who?
And you teach locally too, right?
I do. I do. So I did teach at the Old Town School for like 15 years.
Yeah.
I haven't, and generally just because of my busyness within the semester, I usually do some workshops over the summer, but I'm also launching my own artist development company. So that will be voice and artist development under my own name.
Nice.
And
Which I
yeah,
just
and I
managed in Zoom for you.
thanks, honey.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Um,
You had your government name rocking, and I'm like, no, she needs her show name on.
yeah,
Thank
people
you.
need to know how to find you.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt for a second and just say hi to some
Mhm.
people who have joined us. Well, first of all, our mom was the first one we saw join. So, Reet, what's up?
Hi,
Nice to see you.
Rita.
Um, John is a regular guest. Always good to see you, John. Mary Josephine, thank you for joining us. Pops, Abdul, you're on. Thank you. Danny McHugh said those BMC days is a good friend of ours who's been to shows, seeing both of you guys rock the stage, which is awesome. Adrian Sanchez, DJ Sanchez on the line.
Sanchez, drop it.
Yeah, and Lisa, who made this tea blend, is on. So Lisa, thank you for joining while you're, working away over in the tea department. That's great. Anyway, for those of you who just joined us, TQ and JQ, Tea Time at the Apothecary with our special guest, Typhanie Monique, jazz, local legend, and more than just local, just a real touring and performing musician. We were talking a little bit before this that you've been performing on stage pretty much weekly for how long now?
Well, you're gonna come. You might know my age if I tell you this, which is just fine with me.
I mean, since you were
Um,
two. So,
right, right.
what year was that?
I mean, I hit the stage at the Elbow Room. I want to
Mm,
say 1996. And
wow.
and as we were talking about this great pause that we're in, I was sharing with T how, for the first time I was at ease and actually kind of okay to not be performing.
Mm.
I'm missing it now, but since March, just having a break. I mean, I've been performing in a club once a week since 1996.
It's a
And
grind.
if it's not, right, if it's not a club, it's a venue or a festival or, faculty concert, whatever that is. And it's such a blessing. But for a moment I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a hobby, you know?
Yeah.
What hobby are you doing?
Um, I started tap dancing again.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I used to, so I was a dance minor and then I just couldn't do both.
What's it
So,
like for someone with no musical abilities to jump into a hobby like that? I would imagine that it's very,
oh my,
very, very not easy, but like really good to jump in and already have great rhythm and sense of timing, right? Like,
it is, but my coordination, I mean, and that's why I'm not this excellent pianist, and I continue to work on that too. And of course, I have skills to write and teach, etc., but would not necessarily perform as a pianist. My coordination of like all four limbs rocking at
mm,
once, like as a drummer or something, drummers I believe are really highly intelligent humans. Okay.
Yeah, there
Um,
are. I mean, most probably are, but
yeah. So,
we're
but
like
just that
octopus. We're like
most
octopuses. We have a brain above each limb, you know?
you do.
Yeah.
You absolutely do. So it's really fun. I mean, I love it. I love it. And
that's
just
cool.
again, not only dancing but creating sound, with your body as you're doing it. It's yeah, it's fun.
Most
It's fun.
people don't know this because it's kind of a dangerous thing that I have, but I have a pair of shoes called my dancing shoes. They're from Pakistan. They're like gold gilded. You picture the leather Indian shoes. But when I put them on, I cannot stop tap dancing. I don't know how to tap dance, but it literally I have to kick them off before I can stop dancing.
It's true.
And
I've seen it.
sometimes it goes on too long if I can't get them off. But that is true.
It is
Thank you.
spastic and incredible.
Okay, I need a video.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
Good
You
luck.
got you
Good
got
luck.
come
Hey
on,
guys,
come on, you gotta shoot.
do you guys
Send
want to
it.
see my newest toy? My newest toy, by the way, is 40 years old. Look at this.
Ooh.
That's
This
kind of
is the
incredible.
Roland 606. I was cleaning out my studio and found this thing covered in dust, and this was intended for a guitarist to have like a rhythm section, like a drummer and a bassist, and they could play along with it. And it was like an epic fail. And then electronic music producers got a hold of it and were like, "This thing's incredible." So I want to play you a little piece. Check this out.
Do it, do it.
If I had my dancing shoes right now, there'd be trouble.
Yep. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
well,
that is such an old school sound. It's
I know.
brilliant.
Was that like what did Kraftwerk use
Oh
one?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that's like immediately I went to
So
Kraftwerk in
good.
my head. So
yeah.
So good.
Yep. So anyway, I thought I'd give you a taste. That was just sitting here, and I got excited looking at it.
That's
Um,
fun.
Hey,
yeah.
Tiffany, I just want to say, so there's a little shout out because Dana and the whole store crew, you're a regular customer and they are missing you. So that I'm getting a message that they were all really, there's lots of love and hearts coming from the store crew that
Aw.
you're joining us today because they miss seeing you. So
Aw.
you're,
Hey, Tiffany,
I
I got
love
a question
them.
for
I
you.
love
I
them.
would be
Yeah, babe.
interested in this. Is like, as a person who is sort of you're like a proponent of shopping and working and living locally, right?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
are you're like I feel like one part you're like the one of the best balances of like Earth Mama and like I want the latest high tech goodness, right? And so like and
Funny.
and how do you like I know you sometimes go to the doc I know your doctors. I know you go to the doctor sometimes and say like I need help with this. And then there are other times where you come into the apothecary and you're like I need to talk to Abdul, right? Like
Yep.
and how do you what's your personal barometer? When are you like I need to stop into the apothecary and then when do you say like I need to get, extra help here.
we're going right into personal questions. We're going to ask for your lab results right after this. So please get them
Well,
ready.
that's fine. I'll send it out on Facebook. I just haven't done. Um, so with masks on, by the way. I the interesting thing is I recall walking into Merz, seeing Abdul, and speaking to him about some symptoms, and he looks at me. He's like, "You have walking pneumonia. Get to the doctor." And I
Oh,
was like,
really?
"Okay." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I think you have walking pneumonia." I absolutely had walking pneumonia, and this was years ago. So I mean, I really for me, I try to take care of myself through exercise and nutrition, and not perfectly, of course, but I'm really in tune. Like when something's off with my body, like I can be like, okay, there's not enough oxygen getting to my cells. Like literally, I'm like something is happening with my oxygen in my cells. So what can I do about that? And I might go to acupuncture. I'll if it's something that I've got to feel pretty shitty to go to the doctor, or something comes up and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
This is weird. This feels more than just something on the surface,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which it always is something more, right? And
Yeah.
then it of course comes up into your skin and on the surface. So,
Well,
but
you very much talk always to me about like the physical manifestations of emotional stuff you're going through, and that seems to be,
absolutely,
a lot of people, a lot of us believe that that's like there is no separation there, and that
yeah.
those are the same thing, and that your brain is an organ in your body, right? Like you're,
Absolutely. One of my favorite books. Well, there's Louise Hay, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Who I love, and then actually a woman who lives in Oak Brook, I believe, Carolyn Myss, Myss,
Yeah.
Anatomy of the Spirit, and she's a medical intuitive, and it is. We suffer from dis-ease, which turns into disease,
yeah,
Yep.
right? And so that the mind and spirit, everything really plays into it. And sometimes, there are moments where we all need somebody else, right? Just like through this great pause, every one of us has probably suffered from some type of depressed day, and you need to reach out to that person that lifts you up,
Yeah.
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
Mary
100%.
Josephine was saying she was just thinking about that too, about how the you know it's so easy to just like we talk about it I guess a lot, but saying like the we have this self-consciousness and this like self-awareness that gives us almost separation, that gives us a false sense of separation from mental and physical, and as if those are two different things.
Hmm.
And that's something that like my meditation practice has taught me, like there that's a complete illusion, the idea that I'm inside of my face is ridiculous, right? Like, like I'm not in here. Like I'm I don't know where
Uh,
I'm
Well,
located,
that you're
but
you're
it's
just
not
tapped into
only
like what is consciousness, which is the hardest question. Like nobody can figure that out, right? I mean, there's ideas, but there's
yeah.
experiences of it. But as you're both talking, I was thinking, and I go on rants about this sometimes about like how can people think that they're different? It's actually to me
You
like
have 1 minute.
unscientific. No, but what I was thinking of is that isn't it funny that a lot of times the people who sort of like um, are maybe hesitant or either are actively against the idea that there's like this mind body connection and your emotions play into your physical health, or are just sort of like skeptical of it, are people who tend to be science, like kind of think of like, well, until the science says it. But it strikes me that like that's almost like a sort of unfounded religious view that if you think everything is just based on physicality, then your emotions are clearly related to the physical. And so like you should flatten everything down into one plane anyway.
Yeah,
Like there
yeah.
is no such thing. It's actually an unfounded sort of like quasi like religious leap of faith to say that like I believe in science, so I believe that everything has a physical manifestation and my emotions are not related to my physical. Like what are emotions? Were they given to you by an alien? Like did you buy them at the store? Like where
Moist
do you think that they
robots.
come from?
We are all moist robots.
Yeah.
But
So anyway,
but in order to maybe give us all some ease instead of dis-ease, Tiff,
mm,
why don't you
yes.
sing us something? Sing us something amazing. We're gonna
I'll
mute
sing.
up.
nothing just mediocre, amazing, okay?
She
All
only
right.
does She only does it.
So
I know, just
so the fun thing is I've got two things,
Okay.
right? So because Jay, I talked to you both that so some people may be listening right now and don't realize that I met Jay the day after September 11th, or right? It
Yeah.
was the day after at the California Clipper. T, were you there too?
yeah.
Yep.
We
Oh,
talked about this
It was
actually on
me,
our
T,
last
and
show.
it was me, T, and Rachel sitting at a booth, and you were
that's
just like
right.
like I had this gig planned. I'm here. I can't like just do a normal show. Like, does anyone want to say anything? I'm opening this mic up, and I just jumped right up. I was like, I got stuff to say right now, and I
I
ripped
know.
off this crazy world's gonna end apocalyptic freestyle. Oh,
And
and you started singing over it.
I was
And
freaking out. I was like,
Neil was
oh,
playing. Was it
this is
Neil playing
good.
guitar?
Yeah, Neil was playing guitar.
Yeah, and then and just like
So cool.
it was like poof, like the house came down, and you were like, "I will call you tomorrow. I will see you very soon. We'll get it
Yep.
out."
And
And then
we're
you
starting a
started
band,
coming and
baby.
dropping into your elbow room gigs.
Yep. Yep. So cool. All right. So I thought that I would share this. Jay and I also have done some writing together. And if you want to see the cutest song on the planet, it's called Lemonade, and it's through Bizarrevark Disney Channel.
Yeah.
And we collaborate with a guy named Rick Garenbeck, who's a really good friend of ours. And I've done house music with Rick. We've released singles since like 2000, I think. So this is a housey jam. They go on for days, by the way. So I'll probably cut it off because we know house music will go for 10 minutes.
Yeah, you
So
gotta put the beginning
so
and real long
Yeah,
so
and
you
just
blend it with the next track.
you had mentioned like if you're we I don't have a problem with it, but you said if you're bothered by explicit language, there might be some coming up, right?
yeah, in Shy Tribe for
Oh,
sure.
that's the
Not
next
in
one.
mine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
next one. But who's hosting right now?
Oh, I can give you. What do
Yeah,
you?
give me share permission, honey,
Sure.
so I can share.
All right, while you're doing that, I'm just going to say again, thank you for joining us, T-Town at the Apothecary, TQ and JQ, here at Merz Apothecary, talking to Typhanie Monique, who's about to perform something lovely for us. I can't wait.
This is a house track called "Clipped Wings," right?
Yeah, And let me just get all my stuff set up here, kids.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna
It's
highlight
called
your video, yeah?
it's
Spot.
called Tip Wings, and there's a little backing track in this too, which I was fine with. I was gonna leave it out. So if all of a sudden you're like, "What? Yeah, she's singing to herself." It's a fact. I am.
T, mute yourself. Okay.
So just imagine yourself in a club, like Red Dog. Remember that track? What was it? Mad Car, Red Dog, Red Dog 5, Funky Buddha. Let's take this down. Can't deny all this fire in my life, shine a light on my wings, my head that are broken. Can't deny all this fire in my life, shine a light on my wings, my big lips, but they're not broken. Can't deny all this fight in my life, shine a light on my wings, my big lips, but they're not broken. Can't deny all this fight in my life, shine a light on my wings, my big lips, but they're not broken. The ups and downs, be it rain or shine, everything is gonna be just fine. Just breathe it out. The spirit moves you now. You got some time to work it out. Oh, just free your soul. Let it go with what you want, 'cause you know you can't control. Relax your mind, and anytime you feel that your truth is coming real, all this fight in my life, shine a light on my wings, my big clip, not broken. Can't deny all this fight in my life, shine a light on my wings, my big clip, not broken. Can't deny all this fight in my life, shine a light on my wings, my big clip, but they're not broken. Can't deny all this fight in my life, shine a light on my wings, my big clip, but they're not broken. Just trust your heart, make it shine real bright. The future's right in front of you. You're getting close. You can see your dreams, baby. What you do? Release your past. Never living now. It will only hold you back from moving on. Just stay in the now, 'cause this time is moving fast. 'Cause this time is moving fast. Oh, oh, this time is moving fast. Yes. Oh, said this time is moving fast. Yeah. Just stay in the now. Oh, yeah. Fast. Oh, said this time is moving fast. Oh, time not up lady. Shine your light on me, baby. Won't you set me free? I'll be your slippery, just stay in the now. 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 Just stay in the
Yeah.
Wow.
That was fun.
That was fun. I always enjoy seeing you perform and listening to you sing. And I would rather hear that live and see you live, but there's something really nice about having your face so large on my monitor. It feels like you're singing a private concert for me. I've got to say, it was sort of special. I feel pretty special right now. And I'm sure all
Well,
the people who are watching do too, because we all got that. That was great.
That was
well,
awesome.
I have to say it is really bleeping weird because you never perform watching yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we're zooming, right, or performing live Zoom, whatever it is, you're always looking at yourself in the camera. It's the weirdest thing ever.
I
But
I I don't perform in the way that you perform, but I hate looking at myself on the camera, especially when I'm live. So this is hard enough for me to like watch you, watch Jay, do whatever, and then I look at myself, I'm like, stop. So
mm-hmm,
all
mm-hmm.
right, we got some woohoos. There's tons of hearts and smiley faces, and my dad is asking us, I think, referring to tea time, how are we ever going to top this? So Abdul's sending you some love right now. Um,
Thanks, Abdul. I'll come back anytime.
yeah, good. That's good to know. Hey, I want to, before we hear you do something else, I wanted to kind of, we talked a little bit earlier, you have glowing skin. Um, we'd never guess you're performing in bars and clubs since 1996, as you mentioned.
Free
So,
smoking ban.
yeah, yeah, seriously.
Totally.
Talk about your skincare routine and sort of personal care routine, if you would, some of the things that you enjoy. If they happen to come from Merz Apothecary, even better.
Well, they do. So that's fantastic. One thing that my mother taught me very early on was to invest in my skin and especially in my face. When I started wearing makeup, she's like, take your makeup off every night. And, I think at Christmas time, my first face product was the bottle of Clinique toner. And I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, this is special, right? So the department store stuff. And, but now I love Dr. Hauschka products. So I have everything but my brows are Hauschka.
Wow.
Yes. So lips, mascara, eyeshadow. I love the tint cream, Quince Day Cream. It's my jam.
That's my jam too.
I love it. I love it. I love the eye stuff. That's been helping me out. And
Wow.
actually, I've had some dermatitis issues where it could be seborrheic dermatitis that's getting on my eyelids, and I've been using that, and it's been helping.
Oh, cool.
So a doctor actually gave me some steroid cream. It hurt so that it was so stingy and painful. It was awful.
I think
And
Greta's gonna be
yeah.
psyched to hear that. She's been having something on her eyelid too. So
Yes, use that. So I've been putting that on. And rosehip oil. I've used both products. You've got one product that's organic and I can't remember the brand name.
The Chidoria?
we have the Chidori
Yeah.
one. That's
Yeah,
actually
Yep.
Chidoria.
it's actually from Germany. It
Yep.
It's a Japanese brand that gets their rosehip from Germany. So
that rose hip oil is incredible.
Yep. I wear it daily.
That
And
is
then I
that's
also
actually my
have.
face wash.
Oh, really?
I do
I know.
warm water and 2 drops of that, and then I'm done for the night. Yeah.
because you have
That's
super,
amazing.
yeah. What you were going to say something though, Tiffany, about that?
No, I was also going to say that Nivea. I have the skin that I don't. It's not. Well, I'm part Norwegian, so I need as much moisture as possible. So I can like lather two, layers of that Nivea, and it just goes whoosh. And I
Yeah.
mean, I just have overall dry skin. I wish it was more oily, but it's not. So I can just layer that on and yeah.
Rachel is the same way. She's always dry and she always needs more moisture. And she uses, I think, mostly Evan Healy, we've talked about, which is another great brand. But
Mm-hmm.
she was like, I just need something more. And I was like, look, we're all for natural, but like you also just sometimes need what you need. And I was like, bring you the original German Nivea. It's not like the
Yes.
regular stuff.
Thick
We
too.
sell
Yes.
it, And we brought it home, and that's what she does too. It's like that's the layer at night underneath before she puts on the rest of her stuff. And she was like, my skin just like immediately started looking better. So she's like I'm all natural except for German Nivea, which is my like extra moisture jam, you know?
That's Tony. Tony, who I think is watching right now.
Yeah.
She has always said,
And
Tony told me.
I recommend for you. And then somebody will say, like, what do you use? And she's like, I use Nivea Tin. You know, like that's
Yes,
it.
Tony told me, I love you, Tony. Every time I walk into Merz, her face, Tony, her face is glowing. It's supple. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has crazy beautiful skin.
Incredible, beautiful skin.
Genetics. She always says, this is genetics.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to say about is like giving your Hauschka girl, we should, Martina, the CEO of Hauschka, who I know, if you're watching, or Nicole, if you watch this, Hauschka should sponsor Typhanie Monique, and then you get like, jazz and Hauschka coming together,
Come
house
on.
music, whatever. So next time I talk to them, I'm going to suggest that they check this video out and be like, find you're not a micro influencer, you're a macro influencer in my book.
I would love that.
Yeah, we got to make that happen.
I would love that. Thank you, honey.
Yeah.
But yes, that and oh Lord, Swedish bitters. I mean, I've my friendship with Jay runs deep, and there have been moments where I won't go into it, but personal things where I'll call him and be like, "Yo, these things are not happening. Can you help me make them happen?" And he's like, "Paper bag on the counter. You're hooked up."
Yeah, cool. Yes. We all need some emergency plumbing sometimes or whatever.
Hey, that's not what I was talking about.
No, I mean it in the metaphorical sense.
No, I know, but it
Sometimes
actually
literal.
was. It's exactly what I was talking about.
On that note,
All right.
How are you holding up, like, mental fitness, Tiff? This is like beyond just like being a performer who doesn't get to reach people in the same way. Just as Tiffany, my friend, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. There are moments where, I love people. I love connecting with people. I love face to face. I love beautiful conversations. And of course, I've been Zooming and doing things like that. But when school went into remote instruction, I was Zooming from like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I was fried. I didn't want to be on a computer.
Fatigue, yeah.
Yeah, I was getting headaches. My legs were swelling, because I was in this kind of one position, and so just realizing those things. But just taking time to, I try to get out in nature. I'm from Wisconsin, so, just as you said, the Earth Mama is there, and I just went up to northern Michigan and did a little camping. And so just to be out in that canopy of trees and breathe that air, and there weren't a lot of people, it was really beautiful. So just trying to balance, Totally. And then also I think for me I'm using this time as I call it the great pause, and at times isolation equals really great incubation.
yeah.
And so but listen, it's just me. I don't have children. So my life might be a little bit easier than some folks, and just circumstances.
I think we can say, like people are going through real stuff, and this has been really hard at times, but acknowledging positive sides of it is not dismissive of that, right?
No, and I think we have to, that's what's going to get us through. Where we can be in our feelings and know, all the emotions we're going through and the frustrations and the heartache and all of that. But, there's always shadow and light.
Yeah, and another thing like that kind of touches on some things that are certainly difficult in society is that let's be honest, if you weren't in the Great Pause, does the sort of spillover support for Black Lives Matter happen at a time where everyone's busy in their workday and whatever? I would like to believe it would, but we've seen a lot of things like that before that haven't spilled over into like a wider societal level of support. And so, you know, I don't wish for bad things to happen, but you've got to be able to look at some of the good things that come out of difficulty and say, hey, you know,
I think
you gotta,
often people say, it's kind of cliche, but like growth comes from painful, trauma and stuff, and that's when you really grow. And that's like feels, I hope, what societally is happening right now. And certainly with the Black Lives Matter movement in a huge way. And just that I won't get too political, but it's awesome to watch the government fund protests against itself. It's so just, it is just like this younger generation is on unemployment. They're getting more money than they were getting at their job in a lot of cases, and they're like stacking dough. I've talked to my sister-in-law. She's like, I have more money in my bank account than I've ever had. I can keep these protests up for the next 8 months. Like, I'm ready. Let's do this. I'm like, this is awesome, like
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
the poetic justice there is so beautiful. I just
well, and even on a less political front, it's funny because as a business owner, I'm in some groups where I have like people who are like, I'm a fiscal conservative, yet every one of them was at the front of the line to get the money that was coming. And I'm like, they're like, well, it's to help capitalism. I'm like, you are essentially a socialist right now, even if you're unwilling to admit it. Like, I'm just willing to talk about it, that I support some ideas around this, but like, yeah, so I don't have a problem. But I was like, if you keep saying you're a capitalist, but you get at the front of the line to take some free forgivable loans for your business, you are a socialist. Stop lying to yourself and fronting to everyone. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
for sure.
Yeah. Growth.
I'm drinking
what I do.
rosemary tea, and I gotta say, the last few days of allergies have been kind of tough on me, and I don't know if the rain helped tamper some pollen, but this seems to be helping too. So.
That's good to know because I suffer from some serious allergies, and I actually I made a rosemary syrup for some gin cocktails.
Oh, cool. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, top 3 products for vocal health when you're struggling with your voice.
Or techniques, right? Or just anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do products. I love the throat spray that you guys have.
Satori.
Yes.
Satori Vocal Rescue. Yeah.
Yes. I like Satori Vocal Rescue. I love throat coat. Some people cannot handle the taste.
I'm all about it. I love
I
it.
am too. I love the slippery
It
elm.
is the
And
Kleenex of your throat. Like
yeah,
it's like everywhere backstage. It's like you don't get even any other brand. That's the one you need. You know what I mean?
yep, yep. And then I like and I have the slippery elm powder from Merz.
Yeah.
Just to make my own.
Make
Oh,
the
that's throat, that's esophagus, that's any kind of irritation down that whole tract, right?
into the stomach with ulcers and stuff.
Yeah, mucosal lining support.
But it
Yeah.
makes sense because it's again it's schmoove. I mean you feel that
Yeah,
the minute
yeah,
that you take it, you know.
right.
That
I'm
weird
not.
jelly.
Oh, what's the? I haven't had it for a while, but it's these lozenges, and they come in a tin.
The Grethers
Some
Pastille,
breathers.
are they those ones?
Yes.
Or the
Yeah.
kind of like black currant or red currant? Is it those ones?
No,
Or
It's like a gold
they're
tin. Is that what you're talking
yes,
about?
the gold tin
Yeah.
with
Grethers.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Grethers. So I love that because the misconception in with students or who I work with, they think that you should be taking Halls, right? That menthol or numbs it, but that's exactly what we don't want to do because we really have to understand where our illness is, and
Yeah.
if you are in any kind of pain because you're going to oversing and then you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So the
Where
menthol thing,
where on that list is just like neat bourbon
every day,
every day,
daily,
every day.
daily.
that's just
That's actually a vitamin.
that's like an
Yeah.
apple a day a bourbon a
Can
day keeps the doctor away, right?
can we link that up below? Just neat bourbon. Thanks. That'd be great.
Neat bourbon. Well, as when I was a child, I think I was 4 years old. I was coming down with a flu or something, and my neighbor lady gave me a shot of blackberry brandy. She's like, try this, honey. It'll make you feel better. And I was like, oh, that's warm.
There's a product called Melissengeist that we sell that is like a stomach ailment for anytime you have a like just irritated tummy. You know, like the kids, like, my tummy hurts. My mom would always give us Melissengeist, but it's pretty much like gin. It's just gin with like certain made with certain herbs, and we used to drink that all the time as kids. And I was like, not all the time, but like anytime we had a stomach ache. But you know, I realized like there's a temptation of like just put your kids to bed. Like, oh, is your tummy hurt? Let's give you a little Melissa.
a little like, knock a gin.
Yeah.
Knock a gin.
Yeah.
Well, back in the, I mean, isn't it interesting? And for you both being fathers, you know, think about back in the day to now. And just, you know, the change. I mean, my folks were smoking. You know, I mean, they're giving me blackberry brandy. I'm 4 years old. You know, I mean, just all of it. The amount of sugar that was in my family was ridiculous. Just straight up sugar.
Yeah.
Tang, Kool-Aid, you know.
Yeah, and then you jump in, then you're bouncing off the walls, and you jump in the back of a car with no seatbelt and drive around like on highways, you know.
Or a Jeep with no doors.
Yeah. With the metal roll bars.
With 3 kids in the passenger seat with one belt.
Don't make Dad's watching. Don't make him feel bad. He sold his Jeep. He sold his Jeep after I like bounced my head off.
I was talking about Uncle Dennis.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I want to hear some more singing, but I want to say a quick hi to anyone who's joined us, including Egg. Johnny Iguana's joined us, which is another great musician around town and good friend of ours. Yeah. But if you're just joining us, we have Typhanie Monique, special guest, is going to sing another song for us, for our listening and viewing pleasure.
I think she's going to give us a clip.
What's up?
I think she's going to play a clip.
Okay, play a clip. But yeah, here we are, Tea Time at the Apothecary, getting our groove on a Friday.
How did this start? This was just Rick was like, I miss golden era hip hop, right? Jazzy hip hop.
Yes.
And
so this was Rick. He got together, and then I think Simon Dufour and I believe Victor Garcia is playing trumpet on this one. So they finished the track, and then you and I got together, and we went over there, and I think you wrote the rap, and then we wrote the hook, and passed it on to Jay Davis.
Who's a legend, Chicago legend.
Yeah, legend.
People don't know him.
Jay Davis Trio.
He's amazing. And they do an incredible version of They Reminisce Over You live. He usually opens his show with that, and it's just he does the whole rap, the whole song and it's incredible.
It's incredible, and he's cool. You know, he's just this chill, cool dude. So, all right, so let's hear this.
Nice.
This is called Shy Tribe.
The love letter to Chicago.
Yes. Come on, Shy Tribe.
Check it. Underground sound pounds in your mind's eye. I bring the rhythm and I'm overstocked on supply. Skills you can't teach, astronomical the price. J nice, precise, super nigga will suffice. This a give and take, but it's not open up for debate. Do my thing all over the Chicago landscape. Now feel the flow rate, grown folks skate. Check my first mate, Mr. Egg Germ standing at the gate. Focus and ability to give whatever you want. Intensity eternal, but a bit nonchalant. Baby, don't you even worry that your heart can get scarred. Cause winners never quit, and quitters never come hard. No maniac or brainiac with a soul. Use the balance and the vision to apply the control. So if rapping just ain't in your gut, I think you need to be home with your kids doing anything but for real.
Just another night. I got the city on my left and the lake on my right. Cruising on the drive with the Shy Tribe. Shy Tribe. Got you feeling alright. The sounds of the city steady filling up the night. So listen up, 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 listen up.
Listen up, listen up, I hope you're listening. The only coast I claim's on Lake Michigan. Verbal magician with a Midwest position. And I stand in the land of the crooked politician. And the city lights bleed through the burning sky. And your titties might freeze, but you earned July. I was born in Chicago, raised in Chicago. I'ma die in Chicago, cause I stays in Chicago. Go. go, shorty, it's your birthday. A coat, old style if you're thirsty. My kind of town ladies looking so supple. First rap that I learned was the Super Bowl shuffle. Now I bait the tie till it make me high. I relate and my pate gon' scrape the sky. And I remember when the world's tallest was here. So what you talking about, Willis? We still calling it Sears, you know?
Just another night. I got the city on my left and the lake on my right. Cruising on the drive with the Shy Tribe. Shy Tribe. Got you feeling alright. The sounds of the city steady filling up the night. So listen up, listen up, listen up, listen up.
You understand? If you pay attention to the chorus, you know I'm headed northbound, gliding right, sliding through the night till the daytime like Morris. You hear me clearly? Love my city dearly, yours truly sincerely. The game's elevated yearly. You should know, even if it ain't your name, we gon' still call you Joe. Oh, here midway, runway, gunplay from Monday to Sunday. Dramas on the front page. Gotta love Jones for soul food. My hoodlums are untouchable. In the barbershops, I'm more like Cooley High than the Huxtables. R.I.P. Mr. 3000, nothing but love for you. Hoop dreams for B-ball. Before the Bulls had Jordan, we all rooted for D-ball. I say the second city's in first place. People come from all over the world to get a taste.
Just another night. I got the city on my left and the lake on my right.
Yeah.
Cruising on the drive.
So good. So fun. I mean, you were the references. What I love about all of you guys is you were just dropping, Chicago references that were so good, and you almost have to listen to that twice to get them all. But your line about the Sears, they're still calling it Sears, Willis Tower, that's tight, Jay.
That's maybe one of my favorite lines I've ever. That's one of my favorite dismounts I've ever written, which is.
It's
what
brilliant.
you talking about, Willis?
I remember when the world's tallest was here. So what you talking about, Willis? We still calling it Sears.
Mic drop. It's good.
We got lots of love to that. DJ Sanchez shouting out Jay Davis Trio. Dan McHugh said it sounds so good through his Bose sound system.
Yeah, it's a good mix. Rick did a good job.
Yeah, we mastered that. And what's interesting is some of those tunes are just, we haven't really released them. They're
no, he was talking about a video, but it never really panned out.
It never really happened. Yeah.
Do a Zoom video, just everyone bouncing around smiling. Because
I think we have one. We're just gonna put it out now.
Right, exactly.
Just like latency and everything, just like here, you're welcome. Awesome.
That's good.
Well, we should wrap it up. But Tiff, thanks for coming by. I love it.
Absolutely.
Will you join us again sometime? That was great. I would love.
I would love to. I would love to, and I just, it's so good to see your faces. I mean, part of my routine is Merz.
Yeah.
My life routine is Merz. It's like once a month I got to stop in and get what I need.
Can you give people a couple? Some people are like you said on Zoom, 8 hours a day, are doing have to do a lot of meetings and a lot of talking. What are maybe just a couple things that they might not remember that would be good to keep their vocal health?
Okay, well, the first thing for vocal health is how much you breathe. So we're gonna, I'll give you products, but one thing that I think is so important is
I'm actually talking outside of products. Yeah.
Oh, fine. So do you speak on your folds? And can we really do that? No. But right now I'm talking like this and I've got this vocal fry. But if I bring tone in, the minute I bring tone in, it requires me to breathe more. If I talk a little higher, I sound A, more confident. B, I project more. So I always tell a lot of my college students, if they're working in, the restaurant industry and it's loud, just speak a little higher, not softer, because that can damage your voice. But if I speak a little higher, that frequency is going to cut from the woo, 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 woo noise, right?
Yeah.
And then the minute that I speak up a little bit more, I've got to engage my breath support. It just requires and asks you to. So that's the first thing. And then it also, and then we can go into articulation and diction, but really it's about breathing and supporting that breath and just speaking a little higher, taking the time to breathe and support.
Cool.
Okay. And I think that's probably the best thing that can really save your voice if you're speaking a lot and you have fatigue.
Cool. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great little speech tip.
And I would add to that from somebody who has damaged their voice considerably over the past 30 years, um, just room temp water. You know?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
A
Yeah.
room temp to warm even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to, you don't want to blast it, you know. So at the end of my performances, then I may have, I don't like beer, so I don't drink.
But
it,
a cold drink, yeah.
a cold drink, right? But other than that, it's usually room temperature or tea, something warm. What else?
All these things are so good for me to know, because
Yeah.
I think I don't follow any of that, but I know the breath thing. Meditation has helped me breathe more when I speak. But a lot of times when I'm on a call, I'm a pretty intense person talking, and I do that talking on the folds thing. And then my voice hurts, my throat hurts, I feel exhausted, I'm not
Yeah.
thinking as clearly. It's just like it affects you in every way.
Yeah, that's good. That's why I asked her, because I know she's like such a pro with this, and she just sits there all day telling people, "Hey, you're speaking the wrong way. You're sitting
Yeah.
the wrong way.
Yeah,
You're speaking the
yeah.
wrong way." You know, so it's
Yeah.
good. Thanks for
Well,
the
something
tips.
something else, yeah, that I'm going to do in advance. And if there's anybody out there, hit me up. I'm kind of a little bit more corporate folks who are zooming a lot and who are kind of freaked out being on camera
Yeah.
and or speaking. You know, I've been doing some consultation with
Coaching.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. How can people reach you? Where do you want to send people who saw you today, don't know you, want to learn about your music or other work? What should we do?
They can go. You can find me on SoundCloud, and if you want to listen to a bunch of music, or I'm all on iTunes. My albums are on iTunes. But my website is Typhanie Monique, and that's spelled with a typhaniemonique.com.
The way I put it in the Zoom. Yeah.
You got it. And my email address is just info@typhaniemonique.com.
Cool. Well, I know I got to give a shout out to Adrienne Sanchez, DJ Sanchez. She's asked, where's her copy of the song that you just
You know
played?
what? We should
And then she
at
said,
least
she's like,
put
for
that
real,
track
where's
up.
my copy? Where can I get this track?
We should put that track at least on somebody's SoundCloud.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, maybe we can
I'll
pop
put it on
up.
mine. I'll
Okay,
pop it on mine, and then put it on yours too, honey.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's
Right?
do-
Let's just put it on all of ours.
Or just put it and I'll reshare it on my site.
Okay, fine. I'll do that today.
Cool.
I'll do that today.
All right, so Sanchez, check either of our SoundClouds later today, and we'll put that up. Okay.
And, Tiffany, I'm only bringing this up since you talked about your Merz trip. Like, we're not yet fully open, but we are doing sort of a very contained walk-up. So you can come in behind a mask, say hi to people, ask for some things. And if you want to do that just to break up the Zoom order on the web monotony, we would love to see you. And that
I
goes
would
for
love
all of you who might want to stop in. Monday through Saturday, we're sort of limiting our hours right now, 10 to 5. You can walk up. We only allow a couple people in at a time. We've made like a little counter area. So you come in, you tell us what you want, you can talk, but we're trying to keep it safe. But you get a little bit of that joy of coming in and smelling the air around you, at least. You know?
See your peoples, you know?
Yes,
See people,
I gotta
yeah.
see my peoples. I gotta see Tony. I gotta see Dana. I gotta see
Yeah.
my peoples.
That's right.
Awesome.
Hey, Tiffany, I always, I don't think I've ever seen you, even when we both had hard times, and it was for like a sort of across the counter cry on each other's shoulder or just comfort each other. I've never seen you and not felt better when I left. So thank you for joining us. I really, really am happy to have you on here. So thank you. It really means a lot to me.
I'm gonna get emotional.
Yeah.
All right.
I love you guys.
I love you too.
Love you too.
Bye,
I really
sister.
do. Deep love.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thanks everybody
Peace.
out there. Love you. Thank you for joining us. See you next Monday. Tea time at the Apothecary.